Charges, the Easter story. Charged to be the eternal redemptive sacrifice once and for all, he came, as prophesied, humbly descending to earth to live among us and walk in our shoes, the embodiment of mercy and truth in perfect union. Moved with compassion beyond comprehension, he did supernatural things for the multitudes in need, generally charging them to say nothing. Nonetheless, silence proved scarce, and obscurity grew scarcer, albeit with mixed reviews. He was astounding in his ways, whether in mountainside sermons or synagogue studies. Never had human ears been favored with such wisdom and authority. Where there was childlike faith and fervent expectation, believers were blessed with life-transforming miracles which spread like wildfire across a parched, windy wilderness. And in the fullness of time, he charged those closest to him to go out as partners to the highways and byways and tell, not about the astonishing miracles they had witnessed, rather about the need to turn to the God of new beginnings. In the thick of things, the ruling authorities, sly and stubborn in their ways, vehemently opposed his revolutionary teachings of love and forgiveness, willfully despised his disregard for their empty, tedious religious traditions, and critically challenged his acts of servitude, which sprung from justice and grace. Enraged with contempt and jealousy, they took a page from the chief tempter's book as they sought to trap him. However, such ensnarement was elusive. The more they tried, the more they fell frustratingly short, so they schemed unremittingly to arrest him. With swords, clubs, and torches secured in sundry hands, they came stealthily by night, in a prepaid betrayal of loyalty, and made their capture during his hour of prayer in the olive grove, laying the charge of blasphemy, alleging that he claimed to be the Son of God and King of the Jews. At a bogus trial quite hurriedly convened, they pressed him hard to defend himself, but he said nothing to their charge. And as he surveyed the trickery that possessed the condemning mob, multitudes who once celebrated his goodness and called him Master, he moaned deeply in his spirit in utter pity for all their wrong. The massive crowd, save precious few non-deserters on the outskirts, demanded his death, and the pronouncement for him to be crucified right then echoed in deafening tones across the courts. And as they mocked him, spat on him, scourged him, and led him up a hill like a sacrificial lamb to an altar, he prayed in earnest for their pardon. Tragically, they slew him, then dispersed in vainglory, overwhelmingly relieved and satisfied that he was dead, hung on a common bloody cross for all to see. But the story was not done. Soon thereafter, he arose one magnificent morn. At the break of day, the heavens roared and the earth shook at the stamping of the seal, which signified that the redemptive work was finished. And in the quiet aftermath, lowly bent mourners arriving at his tomb discarded their embalming spices when they encountered an angel announcing, "Weep no more in sorrow, for he is risen from the dead. Then the angel charged them to go tell this to the disciples who were in hiding. With emotions running high, the mourners raced into the tomb, its emptiness a sure verification that this was no fake news. For indeed, the stone had been hurled aside in divine conquest. So in a moment of stupendous realization, they ran straightway in haste, spurred on by the most beautiful birdsong ever tweeted at dawn, the first Easter song. With hope rekindled and focus fixed, joy replaced sadness with each step they took, and spilled out upon their grief-stricken companions like ointment from an alabaster box. Together with burning hearts, they gave thanks for what they had seen and heard, but couldn't help pining for reunion and restoration. Oh, what glorious appearing as he came unexpectedly to fearful, doubting disciples wherever they were, serving them in their awestruck state like he always did. He brought resurrection to light, reminding his disciples about the power and the gift of peace now within them. So too, he reminded them of his imminent departure. Then he issued the final charge to go everywhere and to tell everyone the good news of the salvation he purchased and freely offers. And as this last reunion came to a close, with a farewell blessing of peace upon all who gathered, he ascended inexplicably above the clouds, taken up into the heavens. The charge to him complete, the Lamb victorious.